I'd been so focused on optimizing outcomes, on making my goals, that I hadn't even noticed that I was already standing right inside pieces of the life I wanted. And that is powerful.
Welcome to Paper Napkin Wisdom, where we share pearls of wisdom shared by some of the world's top entrepreneurs, leaders, and difference makers. Here's your host, Govind Jayaraman.
Hi, I'm Govind Jayaraman, and this is Paper Napkin Wisdom, episode 324 and number 17 in our Edge of the Napkin series. As you settle into this moment, you might notice that the holidays carry a very particular energy, an energy full of expectations and emotion, an energy full of tradition, and an energy full of movement, noise, and sometimes really quiet pressure. And as you listen, you may already be aware that for leaders and entrepreneurs, this season doesn't always land the same way as it does with everyone else. And while part of the world, and maybe most of the world, talks about slowing down, some part of you might still be measuring, reviewing, noticing what didn't quite happen the way you thought it might. And it's interesting how that can create subtle tension between where your energy wants to go and where the world seems to be pausing. Today's Edge of the Napkin episode isn't about fixing that tension, it's about noticing it. And perhaps without effort, discovering that the most meaningful gift available to you right now has to do nothing with doing more or getting more or being more. In this episode, we'll explore a simple idea captured on this napkin: presence over presence. It's not a slogan, not as a rule, but as an invitation to reconnect with a future that you actually want, and to realize that parts of it may already be available to you right now. So as you listen, you don't need to take notes. You don't need to agree. You don't need to do anything at all. Just notice what resonates, because sometimes the most powerful shifts don't arrive as answers, they arrive as permission. So let's dive in. There's a version of the holiday season that gets talked about every year. Slow down, rest, unplug, be present, recharge. It's everywhere. And if you're an entrepreneur, there's a good chance that that version of the holidays never quite fit for you. Not because you didn't want it, but because your internal rhythm doesn't always line up with the world's expectations. At least for a really long time, mine didn't. There was a quiet misalignment. While everyone else was talking about slowing down, I was doing something really different. Quietly, though, I was measuring. Not out loud, not consciously at first, but internally, relentlessly. I'd look back at the year and start compiling a list, a tally of all the things I hadn't completed, ideas that I didn't follow through on, projects that I didn't finish, opportunities that I didn't capitalize on, things that I'd failed to do. And I'd measure the gap between what I had imagined the year would look like and what had actually been delivered. Revenue, results, KPI, momentum, growth. And without even realizing it, I would slip into a subtle but powerful pattern. Okay, now we fix it. Fill the gap. Drive the solution, push forward, make up ground. The problem was the timing, because I was feeling this internal urgency at the same moment that the rest of the world wasn't just slowing down, it was stopping. Clients were offline, teams were unplugging, suppliers were closed, calendars were empty, and everybody else was resting. And I was revving my engine. That lack of alignment between my energy and the rest of the world around me created something worse than busyness. It created unease, anxiety, a feeling of helplessness. And it was anxiety without an outlet, momentum without direction, urgency with nowhere to go, no one to speak with, and nothing to get done. And when that energy has nowhere to land, it doesn't just disappear, it leaks. So what did I do? I solved it by staying busy anyway, sort of overperforming at home. If I couldn't push forward professionally, I'd overperform personally. I'd throw myself into the holidays, be extra present, be the most present. If there was a prize for being present, I was going to win it. Extra involved, extra attentive. I'd put enormous pressure on family time to feel right based on some internal measure I had and never articulated. And when it didn't, and when plans shifted or moods changed or things didn't land the way I expected or in the place I expected, I'd feel off balance again because I wasn't actually present. I was trying to be present, and there's a difference. Trying comes with tension. Presence comes with permission. And for years, I didn't know how to give myself that permission. This year, it feels different. And I don't say that lightly. For the first time in a long time, maybe since I was a kid, I feel aligned heading into the holidays. Not checked out, not forcing calm, not pretending, not medicating, aligned. I feel in tune with my family. I feel present. I feel ready, like really ready, not just for the holidays, but for this season in my life. And what's important is this: nothing external changed. It's not been a perfect year. There are no magical results. There's no sudden resolution of every open loop that existed before. What changed was where I placed my attention. And at some point, quietly, without fanfare, I started paying attention to a vision that has been with me for a really long time. When I pictured my future, not my goals, not my achievements, not my titles, but my life, my family was always there, smiling, content, peaceful, not rushed. We were in time. We were present in time, not frantic movement, no urgency, no sense of we should be somewhere else. We should be doing more. We should be doing this. Just time together, time that wasn't squeezed between obligations, time that wasn't stolen from something else, time that felt expansive, time that felt open and free. And what I noticed, like, and when I really noticed it, really noticed it, something just clicked. Time wasn't a byproduct of success, it was the success. And that realization changed everything for me. And here's what surprised me the most. When I slowed enough down to watch the vision, like a movie playing in my mind, I noticed something critical. In that future, I wasn't exhausted, I wasn't behind, I wasn't compensating, and I wasn't performing. I was there. And the currency of that life wasn't productivity, wasn't pushing, it was presence. Time was the gift we were giving each other again and again. The realization actually didn't make me anxious. It made me grateful instantly, like spontaneously, because the vision didn't feel distant. It felt familiar, like something I've been carrying without honoring. And once I connected to that vision more deeply, I stopped asking the old question, how do I earn this later? And I started asking a new one. How do I let parts of this be true right now? And that question is powerful because it doesn't demand a total life overhaul. It invites integration. What moments of unhurried time already exist? Where am I rushing out of habit, not out of necessity? And what would it look like to choose presence just one day or once a day on purpose? And here's the thing that caught me totally off guard. I wasn't even looking for this alignment. It was just in front of me. the entire time. I'd been so focused on optimizing outcomes, on making my goals, that I hadn't even noticed that I was already standing right inside pieces of the life I wanted. And that is powerful. There's a story, and it's echoed in some of the great books written over time, like The Alchemist and The Greatest Salesman in the World, about a man searching the world for treasure. He crossed deserts, climbs mountains, sleeps under stars. He follows signs and omens, convinced the treasure is far away. And when he finally returns home, wiser, worn, and transformed, he discovers the treasure was buried beneath the place he had started. The journey wasn't wasted, it was required, because without it, he wouldn't have recognized the treasure even if he had tripped over it. And that's kind of what life feels like. The years of striving, the seasons of urgency, the holidays spent misaligned, those weren't mistakes. They were put there in the path that made alignment visible. So here it is plainly. The greatest gift you can give yourself this holiday is not rest. It's not time off. It's the time to connect with your vision, not your goals, your life. Time to sit with what you actually want. Time to feel it, not analyze it. Time to attach positive emotion to it, to animate it, because the vision without emotion stays abstract, and emotion without practice fades. But when you put them together deliberately, something powerful shifts. And it doesn't need to be complicated, it needs to be intentional. Here's a simple process in your language to get started. Number one, name what you want without editing. It's not what's practical, not what's impressive, not what fits on a spreadsheet or a KPI sheet or an OKR. What do you want your life to feel like? Who's there? What's the place and what's the pace? What's present and what's absent? Write it down. Messy is fine. Incomplete is fine. Truth matters way more than polish. Number two, play the movie. Close your eyes and watch the story that you've crafted play out. And don't do it once. Do it daily. And notice the small details, the energy in the room, the way time moves. This isn't visualization for achievement. It's rehearsal for being and becoming. And then point number three, attach emotion to the movie on purpose. Gratitude, peace, joy, contentment, humor. Let your body feel it. Emotion is the bridge between imagination and reality. Step four, practice integration, not perfection. Ask yourself one question each day. What part of this can I live today? A slower breakfast, an unrushed conversation, eye contact where you wouldn't have made it, a decision not to fill every gap in your calendar. Small is powerful here. And number five, protect the vision, not aggressively, but gently, lovingly. When urgency shows up, check it against your vision. Does this move me toward it or away from it? The question alone will recalibrate your energy in the direction of what you want. So this holiday, you don't need to fix the gap. You don't need to push. You don't need to prove anything. You can give yourself something far more valuable. Permission to be in the story you're building right now. Because the future isn't waiting for you to arrive. It's inviting you to notice where you already are. And that, quietly, simply, might be the most generous gift of all. Make it a great day.